All right, guys, another episode of shellanomics, from Playmates to Angel Mates. We have the lead toy concept artist here, Howard Quiggly Chang, who was just an incredible gift to us all turtle fans growing up, because without this guy, we wouldn't have 50,000 turtles in our, for Christmas. And he has a new project coming out on a Kickstarter, Ancientz, which is his own creation. And if you guys stick around, we're going to get into that. But Howard, how did you find your way into the Ninja Turtle universe? I'm not sure if you were a fan of the comic book when it first started. How did this all start, for you?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate it. Man, it was a job out of high school, man. I just graduated high school. I had a job lined up at Blockbuster Video, but my mom saw an ad in the local newspaper, and it was asking for a sculptor. I never sculpted really, so I bought a bunch of wet clay, did a little Batman, took it to the interview. They didn't look at the sculpture. They saw my drawings, and they thought I had potential. They hired me, an 18-year-old kid right out of high school. So I was going to get a summer job right before I go off to college. And that summer job ended up being one of those iconic moments where somehow I got connected to design Ninja Turtles, the toys at the company name's called Varner Studios. Which was one of the main companies Playmates worked with to do all the prototypes, get all the toys made for tooling. And they didn't have a design department. But when I got in there, after like 3 weeks of making molds, Playmates requested some designs for, Fugitoid, right?
Yeah.
So I went in and did a quick sketch before I went home. They faxed it over to them. I came back the next morning. I lost my desk, and they gave me a whole office by myself. Hey man, you're gonna just draw turtles all day. So that was in 1989, a year after the first 4 turtles came out.
Gosh, what an honor is that for us diehard Ninja Turtle fans. I'm not sure if you're aware, but Fugitoid was Eastman and Laird's first creation before Turtles.
Yeah.
How cool is it
for you? As a robot.
Yeah, it's an honor. That'd be an honor for you to get that one. That's a really cool Easter egg there. So. If people are aware, and so did you actually come up with that idea on the chest too, or it actually pops out?
I don't remember.
What
it was, but whether I came out
like that go a long way.
Yeah.
Oh man, good stuff. And then, like I said, now I didn't have the foot soldier growing up. I had everybody else, but that was my foot soldier. I had multiple Fugitoids because they were easier to find in the shops at the time. But can you tell us a day in the life of Turtle Prime? I guess we can call it, because I'm sure when you were working there, you're like, this is a hip show, and wow, we're like, how many hours a week did you actually have to work, Howard, in regards to just how demanding these toys were back in the early 90s?
Yeah, there's a quick story. So 89, it was still moving, and Mirage Studios, I think what Eastman and Laird ran back over in Maine, they were designing a lot of the enemies, and we were doing the mashups. But I went off to college after the summer job, and my bosses weren't happy about that, because we're rolling, because we were just killing it with the toy designs. That's how I got the name Quiggly. Eddie Mosqueda didn't like the fact that I was quitting, and so he wanted to say, Howard, you're fired. It didn't sound right. So he came out the next day after watching the Jetsons and found the character named Quiggly, because it sounds better to fire a guy named Quiggly, right? So I went off for 1 semester of college, came back for the winter job, and I just ended up part-time job until I graduated college. And yeah, it was literally a 9 to 6 job every day. Hundreds of turtles were designed, amongst other things like Star Trek, Happy Meal toys, and but in the very beginning, it was that process. Hey, they would request something, we would sketch it out and go through the whole approval process, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you ever saw the Toys That Made Us season 3.
Yeah,
Turtles. Yeah, they were selling out so fast. They couldn't come up with enough stuff. Eventually, I would just come into the office and think up whatever I want to do. Hey, man, what do you want to draw today? I don't know. Let me think up something. Come out with a rapping turtle. Come out with a basketball turtle. And I like surfing. Come out with surfing turtle, skiing turtle, snowboarding. So we just came out with stuff every day. It was just like our own decision. And we had free reign to do whatever we want almost, unless they came out with a specific project.
What a dream come true. So I'm guessing you were a Chicago Bulls fan to get this guy out here, this basketball Donatello. Now, what in your mind, can you talk us just how you drew this toy? Because he's got little pumps down here, these little details that kids may not appreciate back when they were 6, but this is something I like. And he's got this is either James Worthy or Horace Grant inspired, these goggles, because those are the two.
Horace Grant.
Yep, that was the one that used to wear the goggles. Very cool. And then, of course, Mr. Airman himself, number 23. So how did you get away with making it, that detailed? I guess did the goggles like shied away from him being the Mr. MJ?
That's a funny story, man, because, I grew up loving basketball, man.
Yeah.
I'm kind of an older guy. So growing up, to me, Michael Jordan's the GOAT. I live in LA, grew up in LA since I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
I met Kobe, walked with Kobe, and I was a big Kobe fan. But
yeah.
I'll always be a Michael Jordan fan. And when I was drawing him up, man, the Reebok pumps were the most popular shoes.
Yep.
So I got to put, it wasn't Reebok, but I put something pump, turtle pump.
Yeah, it was a turtle shell right out. Yeah, the little turtle shell.
And then I love the Bulls,
Yeah.
Put on the Horace Grant goggles, and I put the number 23 on there. And even though it was Donatello, I made a red outfit jersey and put a 23. And, that was just me having fun, man. Right?
Yeah, this is just
I didn't think they were going to produce it.
Oh, really? You just because they gave you free ride, right? So you're like, whatever, why not?
Yeah, I took a long absence from drawing, and I recently went back. So I was at Playmates just recently talking to the guys there.
Yeah.
And they're trying to blame it on me, man. Hey, I can't believe you put 23 on there. And I'm like, I can't believe you guys produced it. So we're both acting stupid like we didn't know. I didn't know they were going to produce it, and they didn't know what 23 was. Come on, man.
Well, what's even funnier is I'm not sure when you left, but if you recall, they actually made mini Ninja Turtles. Do you remember those ones? Were you around for those when they had the minis?
Oh, I left around 96, man. Because
I think they still had them because there's actually a mini. I don't have it with me. It's in my collection in the other room, but there's a Donatello mini basketball, and they even did what you did here, except he actually has his tongue sticking out like you know who.
My original drawing had the tongue sticking out.
Oh, that's probably where it came from, inspired. Oh my God! Now, even so, again, guys, for those who are listening, we're joined by Howard Chang, who is the creator of all these sports heroes. Was there any? Again, just little details here. We got the dirt on Raphael's, soccer spikes, which I liked a lot. Now he has number 2. Was there any soccer players you were a fan of, or did just 2 come in to pop off?
Yeah, I didn't watch soccer.
Same here.
I came up number.
Okay. Gotcha. And then just like you say, just having free roam. I mean, this one here too, I believe you said you may have been behind Make My Day Leonardo, the police officer.
Yeah. There were so many of them, but I have all these drawings in the book that came out. Remember I told you about this?
Yeah.
These are drawings from 1989 to the 90-something. And it came out in this book called Barner Studio Sketchbook about 5 years ago. Very thick, no pages, not numbered.
God, so it seems like the just anything Turtles is always a wholesome environment, because I've talked to the cartoon voice actors. They've always said it was always just guys having a good time. It seems like you guys are just having a good time too, obviously creating sports turtles and pretty much anything that, rolled off the top of your head. So what was the inspiration to have each, I'm not sure again if you were a huge turtle fan, but did you have any reason why like Michelangelo was the rapper because he was more the party dude, or were you just, I was curious if you had any thoughts on that?
I only had 4 choices, man.
Okay.
But my favorite is Michelangelo.
Okay, nice. That's me too.
Hey, I was back then. I used to surf a lot. I was one of those guys who loved pizza too. I connected with him the most.
Exactly.
But I love all of them, but Michelangelo was usually my favorite.
Nice. And this is my favorite toy here that you created, right? A rapping Mike. I just love this dude. It was just so cool. He's got rap on the side. He's got his hat to the side. These discs and Walkmans were popular back in the day. Obviously,
Flavor Flay watch clock in his.
Exactly. And he's got, and even the accessories you came up with were awesome too. Instead of nunchucks, he's got like a microphone he can use as a weapon. It just would have been great to see in an episode.
Dude, I was a young kid who loved rap and who loved basketball, man.
Sounds like just a phenomenal job. So, just curious, in your opinion, why does this work for Ninja Turtles and not other franchises? Like, we don't have a baseball Spider-Man wearing a baseball cap, or a Navy SEAL Spider-Man. Just why did it work with Turtles?
I mean, look, I give big props to Eastman and Laird for sitting down, sketching such a fun, iconic comic figures. They did a great job. But I feel like the toys, when they came over, they were pretty raw, right?
Yeah.
And there was so much you can do with it. And I kind of feel like the toys made the IP
Yeah.
the way it is. And a lot of times it's not like that, except Barbie and Legos. I feel like, I was a big fan of Star Wars toys growing up.
Okay.
I used to collect them. But it was the movie that made the IP. And somehow with the Turtles, besides the cartoons, which was kind of run by to push the toys,
Yeah.
the toys are the ones that made the IP, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
we had free reign to just keep going and do all the mashups. As you can see back here, my recent one a few years ago, I did the Tupac. Tupac Leo. I did a Michael Jackson. I have a bunch of paintings. It's down at a brewery right now. They have like 5 of my Ninja Turtle paintings up right now down in San Diego.
Man, I can't wait to plug your socials at the end of the show too, so everybody can check out all these legendary drawings on your Instagram and get in touch with you on your Kickstarter. So another question is, when you were doing these drawings, was there any inspiration? Just like, did you have a certain some artists they'll have music on in the background. Did you have any favorite artists you were listening to while working on these designs?
Man, I don't know. Music wise, I was open, dude. I listened to everything back then, but I loved hip hop growing up. I love Rasta.
Yeah. It's in the book too.
Some of the Rasta Turtles, they didn't make it. I don't know why, but yeah, there's a lot of basketball inspiration, sports. I love sports, so yeah, a lot of my likes went into a lot of them, and little details that you can see.
Yeah, exactly. You also told me before we went live for this recording that you actually helped make those when the Turtles went to an anime form, and they had the Super Mutant Turtles. And in other interviews you've done, you were a big fan of mechs. So how cool is it and special for you to actually make your own mechs pretty much in turtle form?
Oh man, I mean, who doesn't love? What young kid doesn't love robots? Especially guys like us, right?
Exactly. 80s.
I grew up with, in my generation, I grew up with old Japanese robots, like Mazinga back in the day, and then I grew up collecting Robotech, which is one of my favorites. And those are nostalgic to me. I just love how robots work. And I'll explain that later when I talk about my new project.
Absolutely. So like you said, then you were going away from Turtles, but your legacy lives on, so to speak, because how did you get in touch with creating McDonald's Happy Meal toys? I don't have one on me right now, but anybody who was an 80s or 90s kid, I guarantee you had one of the Tiny Toon flip cards where you had Plucky Duck on one side and Hampton on the other. So how did you get into that? And what was the inspiration of saying, you know what, I want to give kids a 2-for-1 special on these cars? Because nothing like that's ever been done.
Yeah, has it? Has it not?
I don't recall. I mean, I know we had Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but they didn't morph into another person. It was the 2-for-1 sale pretty much.
Yeah. At Varner Studios, it wasn't just Ninja Turtles. We've done, Star Trek, like I said, Flash Gordon. And one of the big ones was Exo Squad, which were mechs, robots. You should look into it because it lasted for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But we also did Happy Meal toys, like you said, a lot of them.
Yeah.
And that was kind of conceptualized by either Steve or Eddie, my old bosses. They would do these rough sketches. What about this flip? It wasn't my idea. And I took that and got all the characters and put it together.
Yeah.
And we got them colored. And it took a while. And we actually, I think Varner Studios was the one who created it. So we had pitch decks to take it to, it was a company called MB Sales that did all the premiums for McDonald's.
Yeah.
And they loved it. And then it was our own concept, got it pitched, got it approved, and got made.
Gosh, that is just awesome. So back when you were in, Turtle Prime here, do you have any funny stories just walking down the toys, aisle, seeing all those toys you made and just
I do have a funny story, man.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
I did sculpt a few of them, as a sketch artist. And then people got busy. I'll sculpt it. And one of the characters was a sumo wrestler called Tattoo.
He's in the cartoon too. Yes.
Yeah. And he comes in, you buy the toys. It's a yellow sumo wrestler, and you can put tattoos all over him. It comes with the stickers.
Yeah.
So I remember designing it and walking down Toys R Us and saw this kid looking at it going like this. I'm like, hey, guess what? I was like, what, 20, 21?
Yeah, of course, you know.
Dude, I designed that and I made that. He's like, shut up. Get out of here. And then later on, years later, I looked on the internet, somehow it popped up. And that got voted one of the worst toys ever made.
Wow. I wonder.
And after I saw that, it became my favorite. I still have it.
Well, and he's still popular because NECA Toys actually created a version of Tattoo back up on that shelf. So he's still popular. Just again, it was, why not stickers? Like you say, you got free roam. How many turtles can you make? And Tattoo was in the cartoon as well. He had an appearance in one of the shows. So I enjoyed that one. Yeah. So did you ever in your wildest dreams think that we would be doing a recording of this? You know, fast forward now, I know we're in late August 2025, and just the value of some of the toys you designed. Can you just believe that some of these go for hundreds, if not, if you were a part of the second generation Undercover Turtles with the trench coats, not Undercover Don, there's that other one, like when the show was, you know, when the toy line was coming to an end, those go for thousands of dollars, Howard.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Just to think that one standing Leonardo Jim Lee turtle would be worth, I don't know, maybe $1 million now.
Yeah, exactly. Can we actually talk about that? Because there were a lot of sets that for somehow just didn't get past. And you were talking earlier about the Jim Lee turtles. Can we talk about that really quick? Yeah, one that's never seen the light of day.
There's 4 turtles. I don't know what year, maybe 93 or 94. Jim Lee, who was my idol, a phenomenal cartoon comic book artist, he faxed over 4 rough sketches of what he thought the Jim Lee Ninja Turtles would look like. So it was my job to clean it up, make sure everything's good, get it all colored and all that, and call it Jim Lee Turtles. They were all made except Leonardo. I don't know why. I'm still a mystery to me. I might ask when I go back to Playmates, but I keep forgetting. But what happened was, because that one missing, it's become like a mystery. Everyone's like, it's all over the internet. What happened to Leonardo Jim Lee Turtle? We actually sculpted them and got it painted, ready to be produced. And I think Steve either has just one or maybe 2 in his possession, about 2 miles away from here. He lives real close. And I touched it. You can check out these other videos from Toy Addicts. I'll send them to you later too.
Yes, please do. Yeah, I'll share them.
But it's a mystery why it was never made. But 1 or 2 of them exist. The hard copies and painted version, 2 miles from right here.
That is so awesome. And can we also just talk about this book? How did this sketchbook come together? Because you showed me that before, and I was blown away by just seeing all these little, before they came to life here as molds, they were just, in your head pretty much.
Yeah, this ties into your earlier question. How do I feel about, me being recognized or people thinking it's such a big deal? I didn't think it was that big of a deal. It's just a job, I was a kid, first job out of high school. It lasted 8 years almost, right?
Yeah.
And and the Turtles are still going strong. Movies are still coming out. I don't know which iteration it is, but about 5 years ago or 5 or 6 years ago, Steve Varner's son-in-law discovered a vault full of old sketches, right? Thousands of sketches. He took time to scan all of them in, create a thick book like this, put it on.
Yeah, this thing looks amazing. That's my first time seeing this here. Varner Studio.
And then a lot of my drawings in the back right there. See?
Oh, there's Craig, yeah.
Fortunately, it doesn't have any page numbers, but it looks like there's about 400 pages in there.
Yeah.
All these drawings of turtles, and you'll see my hotspot and
and the other rare figure. Yeah, so hotspot. So again, just like, I guess just real quick, how did you come up with hotspot? Again, just you got tired of turtles and you just wanted to get like new characters made, or because he's actually been in a couple video games. Hotspot. He's in the Nintendo Tournament Fighters and actually a Game Boy game. So again, one of your creations lives not only in the toy world but in the video game world of Ninja Turtles.
Dude, it was 30 plus years ago, man. I can't remember every little detail of how I came out with things, but it could have been somebody, it could have been me. I don't remember. Right. Even the dunking, basketball playing giraffe, I did that. Sergeant Bananas, I did that one. With the little monkey on it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't remember all the details of how I came out with them or who came out with them, but
how about the name? How about the names? How did you come up with Hotspot and Half-Foot? Or
I don't think Playmates came out the names for all of them.
Oh, okay. You were
even Rappin' Mike. It wasn't my name.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Or it was that process of just designing it.
Okay. No problem. So let's fast forward to. Can you explain how you actually made a Comic-Con appearance?
Yeah, well, because this book came out
Okay.
about 4 years ago, um, and I think Steve Varner, his wife, Steve, passed away. Great friend of mine, wonderful lady. She was suffering from cancer. And then he was by himself. And I said, hey, the book came out. Let me go down with you and start, people want them signed, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I went down there and man, the recognition we received, I really didn't know that what we did 30 some years ago made such an impact on so many fans, right?
Yeah.
It just didn't really like connect in my head. But when I see these people, they come and they're asking me to draw for them. They would pay me money to draw. They're taking selfies with me, and man, I felt the love. And one of the guys from Mattel came over, and he was talking to me for a while, and he asked me, "Hey, do you know how many Ninja Turtle fans are out there?" I'm like, "Yeah, there's a lot from what I see." He's like, think millions, millions. Look. There's fans out there that love something,
Yeah.
and there's fans out there that know the backstory and everything of people who created it, who designed it, who sculpted it. And there's a whole lot of them out there, man. And he's telling me there's podcasts in Mexico, in France, in China, all over the world. People
Yeah.
are just crazy about the turtles. And
Yeah.
yeah, it touched me.
Yeah, well, we love them. So, fast forward now to present day. You have your own new toy design coming out here with a Kickstarter inspired video, also the trailer here. So it is called Ancientz. So now I'm pretty sure you came up with the name Ancientz. So how did this come together? You got a nice 6 to 8 piece figure line up here for all of us.
Yeah, it's 8 pieces, but 9 total because we have Goliath in 2 sizes.
That's my guy. Even though he's a bag, I know he's a bad guy with the story, but I always like the big dude. That's who I use in my video games. I like having the tanks.
Yeah. So, anyways, as I mentioned before, I love robots, man. And what guy doesn't like this design? When I had to do the mech stuff, I loved it the most, right?
Yeah.
And fast forward, how many years? 12 years ago, I guess I was going through a dark time in my life, and then I just recently found a God in my life, right? So when I started thinking, hey, what led to the Christmas tree? What is Christmas? Oh, it's celebrating a birth of Christ, right?
Yeah.
And what can I get my kids that kind of is more biblical or for my kids?
Yeah.
I looked up on the internet. There was a VeggieTales, and I commend the makers. They did really well, but my kids wouldn't want a toy of a cucumber, right? So then I looked up other stuff, and I couldn't find anything that was cool. And I think the Bible stories are amazing, man. Like if you look at David and Goliath, there's a story of this shepherd boy, little kid, going after a giant where all the warriors were afraid to fight, and he went there with a rock and killed him, right?
Yeah.
Look at all these stories in the Bible are heroes that didn't have superpowers like Superman, Batman, or Iron Man, but they went in with just faith, right? And I saw a huge opening. Dude, this is an opportunity for me to come out with some biblical characters that actually look cool, that people will want, that I can mix RoboCop with Pokemon, right? Because there's so many characters. And I'll show you a preview of one of them. This is David.
Okay.
You don't have to be a Christian to know a story of David and Goliath, I think, right?
Not at all. No, absolutely
so
not.
The eyes light up, the hair lights up. You see the Robotechiness.
Yeah. So what inspired this? Just because, again, you like giving people who collect toys more than what they pay for. So this isn't just going to be a Funko Pop. No disrespect to Funko Pops with their big heads, but this actually has articulation and it comes with a lot of cool designs. So what made you say, you know what, I guess like you say, what kid doesn't like light ups? But what was the inspiration to get like the extra features in these toys?
Oh man. Well, again, all these came from my I want to say when I was praying and meditating, I would see these visions. I decided to draw them all out, and I initially made a bunch of drawings, and I made a couple of paintings, rough. I liked it, but it wasn't perfect, right? And then, I like robots. I love Gundam and all those cool Robotech characters. They have the small heads and the crazy bodies. I want these to look cute and fun, man. And I realized, hey, I have some history doing Ninja Turtles and Exo Squad. why don't I create something that's cool in my own way? And I thought this, instead of a small head, this actually has a cooler look to me.
Yeah, exactly.
And they fly with the little jetpack. See that?
Oh, nice. Well, and the cool thing too is I looked at the Kickstarter page. Again, for those who don't have shelf space, you have little guys as well. You have minis. If people,
they're
really cool
they're
too.
gonna sell the most, I think.
I think so too. My eyes are on that little David Goliath one.
I mean, you're looking at these more affordable, like
see,
the bigger ones. They're actually the you know what, Bear Bricks and Calls. Kid Robot has those collectible figurines.
Yeah,
they're supposed to be more collectible. You can put it up on your wall. They're not fully articulated.
right.
But these are just collectible figurines. This is gonna be the Lububu killer, man. They light
up.
Oh,
you have a little keychain too.
Keychain too,
nice.
right? We got Goliath here as a keychain.
That's my guy. That's the one I
lights up, eyes light up.
Oh my god! Even the color. So what's cool? Even you have different colors in the lights too. Look, it's not just generic colors. You got red lights, blue lights. Yeah. You guys went the extra mile for this here.
And here's Noah's Ark.
Oh yeah.
Green light.
Oh man, that's so cool.
We got some female characters here. Deborah from the Book of Judges.
Yeah. So what was the story again, here, Howard? To have him actually be robot form? It's like a futuristic.
So I have a backstory, an origin story.
Okay.
Cool. So like, you've seen Terminator. And they have that company, right? Skynet comes with the whole new technology. So imagine like a Elon Musk company is called Supernatural Biorobotics. They came out with the technology that can manifest spirits, right? Okay. So the story is they try to summon spirits, but it wouldn't work. But apparently the spirits from the Bible are strong enough that they can actually be manifested. So the orb and the hair strands would light up, and one of the crazy maniac scientists named Professor Ball decides to steal it, and then summon up Goliath, Pharaoh, Sisera up here, my favorite.
Okay.
All the evil characters in the Bible, Jezebel, and take over the world, man, with these robots. But they're robots run by spirits. You know how Power Rangers, Voltron, everybody is run by people?
Yes.
Robotech is human-driven. Yeah. Even Majinga is human-driven, right?
Yeah.
But these characters are spirit-driven.
Wow. I like that.
So the Professor Ball wants to take over the world. I'm going to try to make like a 5 or 6 page origin story comic and put a copy of it into every order that comes in from Kickstarter.
Oh man, that sounds awesome. So what are the goals for this Kickstarter? Because I've seen the trailer. It's like you want to try and do this similar to Ninja Turtles. You want to have a toy line. It looks like video games. What else are you trying to get accomplished with these?
Yeah, with Kickstarter, we're just trying to get the first initial batch in. Okay. You need to have amount of money to get the tooling and everything. We're going to start with getting the minis done. And for the lucky few, if they want to get the more expensive, bigger collectibles, they might be handmade, man. By us.
Well, you're talking about prototypes
and everything. But the goal is, we were looking for a good writer to work off the origin story. We did the world building, so now we want to build out stories. And the idea would be to get this going for a couple of years, and maybe an animation company will pick it up. Love to have a Netflix series. Maybe a movie or something. But then, you keep going with that. A video game could potentially be something. And then the biggest one would be to have a toy that's like a regular Ninja Turtle. Maybe a 9-inch or 7-inch or 10-inch figurines that can articulate and be sold all over the world.
Oh, who knows? You already turned one into like the pretty much feeding a 5,000. Another biblical story. Might be able to have 5,000 of those toys to get started here, Howard. What was it like actually getting this trailer too? Because it's pretty good. It looked like you had all your old buddies come back from your old studios to make this trailer on your Kickstarter too. What was that?
I mean, I had a good friend, Benson. He actually is a filmmaker himself. He came out with the whole story. At first, I'm like, let's not dig too much into my Ninja Turtles. Why don't we just go right into the figures? And he's like, dude, you got to feed off of this Ninja Turtles. Everybody recognizes the Turtles, and you were one of them. Yeah. So I go, all right. He directed everything. He did a great job. And luckily, Carl Aronian, who runs Playmates here, he's in all the documentaries. Steve and Eddie, still my good friends. We went to Playmates and they opened up the whole office to film for a whole day. I'm very grateful for them to do that. But yeah, they still give me good support.
Yeah, which is awesome. So as we slowly start bringing this episode in for a landing, to those who are listening now, what would you say to people who have a vision like yourself? And you've been doing this for a long time with drawing, and like you already talked about, a lot of your toys never even got produced. So
Yeah.
how do you avoid negativity and criticism, and what keeps your drive and passion alive?
Yeah, I mean, look, I just wonder, look at all the celebrities out there. They get criticisms all the time. It's the people that can go over it and just take it as criticism. They can make yourself better. Coming up with your own line is one of the hardest things you can do. And I'll tell you why. When I was designing Ninja Turtles and Exo Squads, man, I was so fast with it. I would design it and get approved in one day, a lot of the times, right? It was so fast. But then when I came out my own, I had this thing called I needed to be perfect, and it wasn't right. I was too hypercritical. It would take me one day to make a Ninja Turtle or a Flash Gordon toy, but it would take me 12 years to finish mine. So I just got remarried 6 months ago, and Gloria, when I first met her 2 years ago, absolutely loved this idea for Ancientz. So she was a great push. And what she told me was, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, hey, if you keep trying to make it perfect, you'll never get it done. So, I mean, if you get it to a point where you think it's acceptable, try to move forward. Don't sit there and make sure everything's in the right place. Because if you look at like even all the car companies, every 4 years they upgrade, right? Make it better. Yeah, just start with something. Don't overthink it, and then improve on it as you go. But obviously, when you come up with something like this, it does require a lot of time and energy and
Yeah, exactly. To make sure you keep
money. Money
Yeah.
takes a lot of money, right?
Yeah, exactly. One more final question for you, Howard. What are you most proud of so far in your career as a toy designer and everything else you've accomplished so far in your life?
That I loved all the turtles and all the work I did at Varna Studios, but my collectibles are not out in the public yet. These are all just prototypes. But the moment I got it all done and ready, the night before Comic-Con, I had to go over. And for the 2 nights before Comic-Con, I got 2 hours of sleep each night.
Oh my gosh.
And I was exhausted, but I was hyper excited and happy. And I couldn't sleep because I was so happy that these are actually ready to be shown to the world.
Yeah.
This is what I'm most proud of right now.
So you said you've brought those to Comic-Cons and you've had very great reactions and receptions from fans at Comic-Cons. Do you plan on taking them to any other Comic-Cons, like any tours or anything like that in the future?
Oh yeah, I mean, you want to do a lot more. We're kind of being pushed into maybe going to TwitchCon and having a little activation in October.
Okay.
I think there's actually a Christian Comics Association that invited me to do a panel on Comic-Con. They love the stuff, they're biblical.
Yeah.
So I have a little show in Long Beach called the Alpha Omega Conference. 500 people, it's at a church, but it's on September 20th. We are probably not going to go to LA Comic-Con, even though they've been bugging us to go. But people love it. People, other companies want us there, and we are almost for sure might be at Designer Con in November. But we are planning on doing maybe WonderCon for sure, Anime Expo next year. I don't know if Anime Expo is going to happen in Los Angeles because due to construction. I got to read up on that. But then either that in Vegas and San Diego Comic-Con, those are our main things.
Oh man, well, congratulations. Thank you for all your inspiration. And where can people, if they do want to make a pledge and check these toys out, check out that awesome Kickstarter trailer you have. Where else can they find you? And how do they look up the Kickstarter for those who are new to Kickstarter?
It's very easy. It's on the very top of our website, which is very easy. It's ancientz.com. It's Ancientz with a Z. It's not an S. So ancientz.com. If you go there and hit that site, you'll see the support us on Kickstarter link right on the top. So you can't miss it.
Perfect. And then you also mentioned you have an Instagram account too. If people want to see some OG turtle drawings and what you're up to.
Of course, you go to Varner Studios, which
Okay.
I help run. My personal was Quiggly with the 2 G's. You can see here, QUIGGLY.daze, DAZE. And our Ancientz is Ancientz, again with the Z_official.
All right. Well, Howard, I appreciate your time. Best of luck with your Kickstarter. Again, guys, the Kickstarter closes in October. This is going to be up on YouTube and Spotify probably by Labor Day weekend. So make sure you hurry up and check it out before October. Howard, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time, my man.
I appreciate it.